As we welcome Dr. Mrs. Rose Oriaron, she wants to talk to us about politics. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good day, everyone, parents and students. It's a privilege to talk to our students today on politics. I am not a politician. Though I work with politicians, I work closely with politicians. I'm not one. And we have worked closely with politicians over the years. And it's an interesting profession because we are all politicians, including our parents, their parents. Everybody has an element of politics in him. We are all political animals. However, I came here with somebody today. She's the director of water education. She's going to be talking to you about the good of being a politician and what you need to do if you want to be a politician. Is there anyone of you who wants to be a politician? Yes, you want to be a politician? Be a politician. But and your family and the boss, you are the teaching heads and the moderators of your home. So we are all politicians. But please permit me to invite Mrs. Mary Kim, the Director of Water Education of INEC, to come and talk a little talk.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good morning, or is it afternoon now? Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, students. Good morning, ma'am. I know that by now we have a lot of prospective politicians in the house, particularly all the teachers are now politicians. Yes, am I right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Now we want to talk about politics. The moderator has, made my job easier by telling us that everything that goes wrong with the society, we blame the politicians. Meanwhile, most of those things, we are the originators of them. But this morning, I'm not here to fashion blame to anybody, but I want to tell us what it takes to be a politician. Before I start, I want to tell us, before you can become a politician, there are criteria that you need to have. One of those criteria to be a politician is that first and foremost, especially you want to become a candidate. Because for you to be a politician, it means maybe one day you want to vie for a position, an elective position. And in order for you to do that, you must first and foremost be a Nigerian. Is that right? Secondly, the teachers turn politicians. You cannot just, it's not automatic. For you to become a politician and a candidate, you must belong to a political party. There are registered political parties. Currently, we have 19 registered political parties in the country. So you want to vie for any position, you must be a member of one of those political parties. And you want to vie for a position, you must attain a certain age, ranging from 25 years to 35 years, depending on the position you want to vie for. The positions that are available, we have the chairman of local government areas, or area council, and in the case of FCT, we have councillors, we have members of state houses of assembly, we have members of federal house of representatives, we have senators, we have governors, and we have the presidency. So depending on the ones you want to be, you must attain the age requirement for that particular position. And not just that, you must also have your integrity. That is, it must be that you are not liable to any criminal offense that, especially when it has to do with fraud. And you must not be somebody that has been convicted, given a death sentence for you to become a candidate in Nigeria. Now, for you to, there's a platform. In Nigeria, we don't operate independent candidacy. You cannot just stand up like the teacher said I can just wake up from my bed and say, oh, I think I have all the requirements, I have all it takes. I think I've really studied myself. I think I'm qualified to be the governor of my state. You cannot sponsor yourself. You must be sponsored by a political party. So, what is a political party? Political parties are associations that are legally registered and by one organization called INEC. Legally in Nigeria, INEC is the only organization that can register political parties. So you must belong to such political parties. And political parties, what do? They canvass for votes during election. They field or sponsor candidates for elective positions, amongst many other things that they do. So if you want to become a politician, it is a very, I've heard that all the jobs here, they said they are lucrative, they have money, they have this, they have that. But one thing we must do, and that we try to do now, particularly as a commission, we want to entrench democracy in the children. We want to catch them young. So we want children to imbibe the principles of democracy, so that when you get there, maybe by the time it's your turn, because I can see President of Nigeria seated here today. I can see governors, I can see senators, I can see House representatives, I can see chairmen of local government areas. But before it will get to your turn, by the time you have imbibed all the principles of democracy and good principles of becoming a candidate, I'm sure most of those blame game will not come your way. The anchor, when we came in, I heard him say there are some professions that you don't need to go to school. Well, I don't know if there's any profession you don't need to go to school, but I know that when you go to school, it will enhance your performance, because you have gone through the movement of knowing things, you have known what somebody did, your predecessor did that didn't do well, and you learn from it and you make amends. And when it comes to your turn, you do better. Now, what are those things that we need to do as candidates? You want to participate in the election, you want to contest the election. There are qualifications, I said. 1, you must attain the age. 2, you must be a Nigerian. 3, you must be qualified by virtue of your character-wise. And you must also have other qualities that it takes to become a candidate. Also, we have what can disqualify you from being a candidate. When you don't have the requisite age, you don't have the character, maybe you have been convicted for one reason or the other, or one thing or the other can stop you from becoming a candidate. Now, when you want to vie for a position, I've said you have to, first and foremost, register to be a member of a political party. Membership of political parties is open to all Nigerians, but there is age limit. For you to be a member of any political party, you must be 18 years and above. I'm sure there's none of you up to 18 years, students. So you wait, when you get to 18 years, you become a member. And you must be a registered voter in your ward. So which means during the continuous voter registration, such person must have registered to be a voter. And there are also criteria for you to register as a voter. I've prepared my speech before now. I have a comprehensive in which I can forward the soft copy to the teacher so that maybe they can share with you people and you will get to know some of the things that we do as candidates. But before I drop this microphone, there's something I want to ask the teachers. Do you have a voter education club in your school?
No, not actually.
I think we should institute that before we leave this place, or maybe after now.
Yes,
Please, there is need for us to have voter education club. It is there you discuss so many things about politics, about democracy, about a lot of things that will make them to be better candidates and better leaders in future. Now you have prefects in your school. How do they emerge?
Oh, actually, I've actually had one in the election.
Today?
No, not today.
Okay.
I mean, they are requested of the next week Thursday. After that, we gotta
If you want to do that, we'll be gracious if you can just invite us as a commission. Somebody will come and moderate that process for you very well. So please, try and have a voter education club. And from time to time, we'll be sending you materials that you need to read and study. Peradventure, some of you want to be politicians, right? How many of us want to be politicians here? Politicians. That's good. Who else wants to be a politician here? President of Nigeria? Oh, that's my excellency. So then let's study what it takes. So we're going to send you some materials that you need to study. Even the teachers will benefit you, especially now that most of the teachers want to be candidates. So you now read and see what it takes, how can you emerge as a candidate. So that if he or she is a person employed in the public service, so teachers, for you to be a candidate, you want to be president, you have to resign your position. Two, he said you must have acquired the citizenship of another country. Some person is not qualified. Because we don't want somebody that will come and carry all our resources here to the second country. He said you must have been adjudged. When some person has been adjudged to be a lunatic, you know what people who have then if such person is under death sentence imposed on him or her by a competent court of law, the person must have committed a grievous offense that warrants him to be sentenced to death in our politics. Or such person is declared an undischarged bankrupt. We don't want people that will come and cast away all our resources and convert them to their own personal gain. Or it's within the period of less than 10 years before the date of the election. If somebody was convicted, at least after 10 years, the person has been cleared, such person can still contest election. But within that time, the person is not qualified to contest the election. Or if the person has presented forged certificates. So which means students, you have to read very well and ensure that you have your certificate original, so that when you contest, there won't be any issue of somebody taking you to court that you are not qualified on one thing or the other. Thank you very much.
Add to putting your left and right.
Job that doesn't have risk. Even the engineer that came here to speak, we've had houses collapse and people will die under it, isn't it? So there is no job that doesn't have risk. It's when you have the passion for it. Particularly, politicians manage men and resources of the country. If you have passion for your country, for your people, and you want to improve on their welfare, I don't think you can do anything you can to mitigate those risks. There's no job that doesn't have risk.
Institutional qualification, like particular certificates that you must have to provide the possibility of being a politician.
Sure, there are qualifications for you to provide for post. For instance, if you want to become the chairman or councillor of any local government area, they say you must have qualification at least primary school or equivalent. But what we are saying is that don't limit yourself to those limits. The higher you go in educational qualification, the better for you. The better productive you will be. The better understanding you will be able to lead your nation or the state, or be able to run the affairs of your office. So it's always better to study hard and look. My dear politicians,
Let's put our hands together. Thank you, man.